Welcome to the AskARoofer podcast, where all your roofing questions find their answers. Your hosts, Megan Ellsworth and Lauren White, peel back the layers of the roofing world to reveal the knowledge, tips, and FAQs you've been curious about. From shingles to skylights, metal to asphalt, we're here to demystify the system above your head. So get ready to ask, learn, and explore the fascinating world of roofing, one question at a time, on the AskARoofer podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the AskARoofer podcast. My name is Lauren White, and I am joined by Mario and Sam today, and I'm so excited to be talking about all things about the equipter and cleaner work environments and having less impact on your properties. And so I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and then we'll just dive in. So, Sam, would you like to start by introducing yourself and who you work with?
Yeah, would love to. Lauren, thanks for having us on the show here. So my name is Sam Byler. I'm with Equipter. I run sales and marketing at Equipter. One of the family. So my dad originally founded the company back in the early 2000s. So I had the opportunity to kind of grow up with the company, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, my everyday I run sales and marketing over there.
Great. And Mario?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Mario Aguilar with Limos Construction, family business established in 2007. And after 18 years in business, we are considered to be one of the fastest growing roofing and siding companies out there, especially in the northeast area of the country. But that is on the outside. Within the inside, we're just a group of team members crazy enough to try to change the narrative of the roofing world, to avoid those crazy stories about like I cannot get a hold of my roofer anymore now that my new roof is on. Or things like my new roof is worse than my old roof. So we are fully dedicated to change the narrative, and that's where we aim. We made this our lifestyle, and we will continue into the wheels fall off, like they say.
There we go.
Amazing. So today we're kind of talking about why the right tools matter, both for crews and for homeowners. So, Sam, maybe we'll start off with you and just tell me about the Equipter and why it was designed. Give me a little bit of background there.
Yeah, so the Equipter was originally designed, the Equipter 4000, early 2000s. My dad had a roofing company that he started in the 80s, and a roofing company here out of Pennsylvania. He was out on the job site every day, had a really tight couple of crews, but he was very hands-on with like the actual roofing process. He was often out on the jobs himself, replacing the roofs, and he was like the hardest part about roofing was like the debris removal, like tearing the roof off and then all the cleanup. You have several tons of shingles like coming off a roof, and it's just how to do that safely and efficiently, was and without damaging the property was the main things that he was concerned about. So he invented this piece of equipment. The first one still has pretty much all the same features like the one that you buy from the factory today. So it's like a self-propelled roofing trailer, lifts up, catches all the debris before it hits the ground, dump it into a dumpster or a dump trailer, and then it tows just like a trailer as well. So that's what the Equipter is.
Yeah, I always love seeing it at the shows. It's always so fun seeing it in action.
Lauren, if I may, I wanted to add something in
Yeah.
regards to the Equipter. Um, where should we start? I mean, let's do what is obvious, right? Like the Equipter was designed by roofers. So who better than someone who has actually lived through the roofing process, uh, uh, you know, to design a product like this? And I get it. Now in these days, you don't necessarily have to be a roofer to run a business within roofing and exterior remodeling. But part of me does not accept that. Like only those who know the feeling, right, of granules stuck on your
Yeah, yeah.
skin for 9, 10 hours, and how itchy it gets. Those who, by the time they get back home, they're taking a shower and they still blowing dust out of their nose. Only those people can truly appreciate what the equipment was designed for, and the benefit that we all get. Um, for years, I say this before, for years I tried to convince myself that we did not need an equipment on our job sites. And I was successful for many years until we got the first one, and deep down I knew that the moment that I jump in one of those, it was going to be a domino effect, and I was going to try to have one of those on every job. So long story short is, after not even 2 years, we went up to nine units within the fleet. I saw Sam on Friday, and we just got three
Just
new
picked up your
additions.
last three, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Congrats,
special
man.
special delivers. So, the Crypto was designed to make the cleanup process quicker, yes, safer, and more efficient. But there was also, the beauty is that it created side effects on a positive way, where like you can mobilize material. You can also load up some material in areas where it's accessible and reachable, and there is other ways that you can make use, and I'd rather to keep it as a secret, but um, it definitely came and did a revolution within the job sites. So we're very happy, and believe me, I get nothing from them other than a smile every time I pick up a unit, but I feel like this is part of the evolution. This is part of changing the narrative that I was talking about early.
Yeah,
Mario, you just took me
definitely.
back describing exactly what it is to be a roofer. You just took me straight back to high school. I spent about 5 years on the roof with my dad's company too. You took me right back. The granulars on the itchy skin.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah.
listen, I've been there, and I respect. I respect, and 50% of the job, when you give someone a new roof, is how you handle the debris. It's very important. How make use of the equipter and take that worry away from the crew, and allow them to focus on the installation. So we all want a leak-free roof. So having the equipter, it just make things more efficient, and it comes with let's put it this way, it is a tool. So you need a lot of common sense to make it work and to be productive. There's areas where you can access to it, and there's other areas that you need to stay away. So yeah, it's a good experience so far.
Amazing. And so, with that, how does the equipter help protect landscaping and outdoor spaces during that roofing project?
So on a day by day, right? So for those who experience a roof installation or replacement, which you don't do too many of those in the lifespan, right? So um, I say this to homeowners all the time. They probably will not notice the difference if I install a shingle upside down, being on the ground looking up. But if I smash one of their plants, right? If I scratch their walls, then it becomes an issue. So Equipter is part of the solution. It's not the whole solution, right? But it's part, and a good part of it. So implementing the use of Equipter, it is critical, and I get it. A lot of roofers are stuck on the old ways, wheelbarrows, and you will end up using those as well. It's the setups will never fit to the proper use of Equipter all the time. But if you can cut down 70% of the debris that it gets to the ground and it gets handpicked and take it away to the dumpster, that is huge. It is huge for the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, anything to add?
Yeah, I think Mario just put it perfectly. It's all about the protection of the property. Like I've heard that so many times, and I've experienced that myself. It's you can put on a perfect roof, and the roofer doesn't usually get the praise for that necessarily, but they can, ruin one bush, or something gets scratched, and that's what the homeowner like remembers and really clings on to. So the idea is minimize those scenarios by capturing the debris like as it's coming off the roof, or as much as the debris as possible. Eliminates a lot of the times when properties get damaged in the roof replacement process.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, kind of on the contractor side of things, by having that debris cleanup as you're doing it, as you're taking off the roof, does that help crews work more efficiently or complete jobs faster?
Yeah, I'd love
Absolutely.
to hear your take on this, Mario. Like, what did it do for your company specifically? I mean, you have 9 units now. You wouldn't have invested that money if it's not actually making business sense for you, I imagine. But like, what's the before and after for you with that?
So, I mean, I'll take you a little bit, in the past, and you have to understand, we roofers, uh, we're designed to only look forward. What is the next job? What is my next customer? Where I'm gonna be tomorrow? Where I'm gonna be next week? We don't take too much time to look back and see everywhere where we've been, and the things that we have accomplished. So me being in front of you right now and trying to think about the changes, I mean, roofing is a hot topic, right? We all can agree on that. Like, private equity is stepping in, trying to create waves around the industry. But let's not forget that they talk about sales, they talk about closing jobs, and scaling the most, the 10x, they call. But who's talking about quality control, right? Who's talking
Yeah.
about being efficient? And that's what is Lima's Construction about. We almost 20 years in the market. Uh, we used to be subcontractors in the past, doing the labor, the installation, and so we decided to make the move. So our goal is always being directed to getting better. Doing what others want, which is caring more. We're not perfect. Roofing is nothing remotely close to being perfect, but we do try. So when we bring, tools like the Quipter, you feel the difference, and the crews, let's put it this way. If we start a job and we don't have an Equipter on site, it becomes an issue, right? Because they know they're getting spoiled, they're getting used to, but it is part of the day by day now. So don't buy Equipters because it is addictive. You want to go back and buy more and buy more. So my advice is don't buy them. But
There you go. What do you think makes it that way, Mario? Like you mentioned your crews, I think a lot of roofing companies I talk to, like that's often some of their one of the biggest barriers is like, well, I don't know if my crew will adapt to this, or there's maybe some communications barrier, between the executives of the company and the actual roofers, on the job site. And it's like somehow like there's just not a understanding or again a communication gap or something. Like what have you found? You say your crews like they love it, they will hardly do a roofing job without it. What do you think creates that?
I think is consciousness. I think is communication. Is like, um, listen. Is at the end of the day, if it's not well used, uh, it can create damage, of course. So the communication is a key factor on this. Being present with your crew members, being on site, and that's what I was referring to. The corp type of industry right now, where like someone 300 miles away is controlling a job site.
Right.
We try to be present and listen. Nothing against those guys, they have their ways of doing things and we have our own. But every person out there who is wearing a Limus Construction shirt, it represents the company. They care. They will go the extra mile. So I don't know if that answered your question, but it means a lot to us because they do carry the consciousness of, listen, it is useful, but if I'm gonna come across a situation, then instead of being, what does they say, like the medicine cannot be worse than the disease. So if it becomes an issue where like if I get across and something will get damaged on the way, let's leave it for the next one. So that's what the crews and me personal, I take very serious. I'm fully invested with the team members. I'm fully invested with what it goes on a day by day. Yes, my label within the company is CEO, but uh, it is more deep than that, So I
Yeah.
will like to remain close to them as much as I can because that's the only way for us to remain attached to our roots. and that's Mr. Lemus, which it happens to be my brother-in-law. When him and my sister founded Lemus Construction in 2007, we literally came from nothing, So we built this from the ground up, and we were always careful the moves that we make throughout the way, because and I think, Sam, you can understand this because you're part of the family. So there's a few things you don't play in life with, and your last name is one of them. You want
Yeah,
to
exactly.
represent the family. So I think that's what it got us to this point. And believe me, we're not slowing down. We we're doing everything we can to keep production, bring additional team members, content creators. We want to be relevant, but we don't want to take our side away from quality control. And quality control, Equipter is a good part of it. So yeah.
Yeah, you hit it. I love, if I may just revert to
Absolutely.
something you said. I think it all comes down to the culture. Like, you can have the best tools, you can have like the best lineup of tools, but if you don't have that company culture with your crews, and I think that's what you have, Mario, which makes you like get every ounce of investment back on the equipter. It maximizes that because you have that communication, you're in sync with your roofing crews, and it's embedded in your culture and your DNA. So that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. I love it. So why, if a homeowner sees, maybe an equipter pulling up, or maybe as part of your conversation of this is what this whole process is going to look like, why should homeowners consider roofers who use this type of equipment? It kind of goes back to your culture and that quality control and that type of thing. But maybe elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I would love to hear that answer from Sam first, because
Yeah.
and then I'll pitch in if you don't mind.
Yeah. So what I found, from my personal experience, being a part of a roofing company, my dad's roofing company back in the day, and like obviously he was like the first adopter in the area here because he was the inventor of it. But it definitely gave a leg up in the presentation to the homeowner because you can say this is something we invested, a piece of equipment we invested in for the protection of your property. Most roofing companies, they'll come in and just tear the whole roof off, pick it up off the ground, after the roof is tore off, and like, okay, like that might be a way of doing it, but you open yourself up to a lot of liability and risk of property damage. We do it differently. We go through the whole like roofing process with the equipter, and a homeowner recognizes that, and they see the value in it. They see the value in it, just from like, okay, this company cares about not just the roof that they're putting on, but they care about my property. Like, they've thought a step ahead of like the other roofing companies that I'm talking to. So that's what we've seen, and then that's been repeated. Like, our customers over the last decade or two, that's just been repeated. That's what we hear over and over again. It becomes a reason why a lot of companies even buy the Equipter, because it's like, okay, like I'm going to see this just as much of a sales and marketing tool as I am like a production tool.
Totally.
Yeah, so let's do something. Let's break it down a little bit different from if I step out of the contractor shoes and step in the homeowner shoes, right? So we all are aware that especially on the retail, uh, a single family home that is trying to get the roof done. It is highly recommend to get multiple quotes, proposals, correct? I think, as Sam was saying, like if a contractor does not bring this up during the presentation, chances are that it will go unnoticed for the homeowners. The homeowner will end up with five, I seen like up to 12 different proposal sitting on a table. And yes, as much as we want to sell quality and the use of tools that will implement the efficiency, uh, the homeowner will look at the price. They will say like, okay, which direction I will go. Sometimes they will say, I want to be in the middle, right? That's the safe zone.
Mhm.
But if the contractor, because we're not gonna fool anybody, yes, having an equipter doing the investment is gonna increase your overhead, right? So you need to address that up front with the residents and make them believe that is part of the roof system. Is the whole experience. So if you don't do that up front, chances are homeowner will not even notice the difference in the decision making point. So I think the
Hmm.
presentation is everything.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point you make too is the price. A lot of people just go based on price, and it's important to look at all the different factors of what's included in that and what do you want the end result to be? Do you want a clean, tidy space without maybe any damage to your house and property, or, do you just want the roof done? Yeah. Which kind of brings me to my next question of what are some of those questions that homeowners should be asking their contractors about that job site cleanliness and maybe equipment before that project begins?
Well, let me think about it. So I think the most common will be like, how do you handle the debris, right? Is it you gonna have a dumpster on site? Where are you gonna place the dumpster? Um, is it gonna be in my driveway? Sometimes homeowners are very sentimental to the conditions of their driveway. They don't want to scratch, especially if it's freshly coated. Um, Having an equipped there would allow some contractors to place the dumpster on the street where it's allowed, uh, and run the equipment as many times as you have to. So I think that will be part of the presentation for the contractor. Um, the main thing is how you're going to protect the surroundings of my home. And yes, the equipter again is part of it, but the rest is on the contractor to make sure they implement the use of a lot of creative ways to protect things. Windows, doors, decks. As I say many times, whatever it takes. Yeah, we have scaffolding. We have. I just don't want to give up. All of our.
Don't give away all the secret
Yeah,
sauce,
yeah, I
right,
don't want to
Mario?
give
I
up.
hear you. I hear you.
But we focus a lot on that because you know what? Once that part is covered, the rest is easy. I told you like homeowner will appreciate that. Unfortunately, and there's nothing that neither Equipter or me are going to be able to change out there is that homeowners will not understand how invested is a contractor protecting the surroundings until the job is done.
Until the, yeah.
So it is what it is. You have to make peace with that and keep doing what you're doing. Uh, that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll repeat, what Mario said at the beginning there. I think for a homeowner, like one specific question you can ask is like, what is your plan for the debris management of the job site? And
Yep.
and then you'll be able to see the difference if you're talking to multiple roofing companies, like the ones that have thought about it and invested in a process, they'll have a very straight answer for you. Hey, I'll do this, 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 and this. The ones that don't give this a ton of thought, like you'll get a pretty random answer. But I think that's a great question, Mario, that you mentioned at the beginning. Is like, hey, just like ask the roofing company, like, hey, what is
Yeah.
your plan for the the debris management, of the project?
Yeah, definitely. And is it helpful for homeowners to say, I just got my driveway coated, please avoid that at all costs? Or, these are my prized roses on this side of the house. Is it helpful for
It
them to have
it's a
that?
it's a fair ask. Like that's I
Yeah.
think what some homeowners are like. What's awkward? What's a fair ask? What's like kind of crossing the line? That's
Yeah.
a fair ask. A dumpster. Like most residential. If you actually like do the math and like look into it, most like residential like paved driveways are not actually rated for the full weight of a dumpster.
Mm,
Like again, like some roofing companies don't really care and they'll just kind of try to get a dumpster as close as possible, but it's like,
sure.
well, if you actually do the math, like not usually rated. And like, some roofers don't take that into consideration. The landscaping, like, some people will invest tens of thousands of dollars in landscaping around their property. Like,
Hmm.
okay, what's your plan to protect that? Those are all very fair asks from a homeowner to their roofing contractor.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Are there any factors, since we're kind of on this, that would prevent equipment like a dumpster or the equipter being used on a roofing job, a residential roofing job?
Well, if it's like a high traffic areas, right? Like a very busy street, um, that will it is how can I say it? Like I always, because someone asked me the other day, like how come you choose roofing, right, as a career? And it feel bad in my whole body that I did not have an answer. And I was thinking about it, and I feel like I did not choose roofing to be my career. To be honest, I feel like roofing chose me. you know,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like we are so invested on doing the right thing, and sometimes the beauty of roofing is that you have to improvise. You have to figure out things like when your day starts, you don't know when it ends, right? So uh, all those jobs that seem simple and easy, you start taking it apart, and then it's 3 days on the road trying to finish the job. So that's the beauty of roofing. You don't know until you get there where you're gonna be working with. But there is a lot that you can do to prepare ahead. So taking all those factors in consideration, how busy the street it is, will the dumpster truck will be able to make the drop? If no, don't forget, Equipter is a towing tool, so you can fill it up and go back and forth as many times as you need to. So I think the Equipter is a great thing, to have it around.
I feel like roofing chooses a lot of people. I never saw myself in roofing, and here we are.
There we go.
And
So I'm not
so,
alone. I'm not alone. That's good
yeah.
to
You're
know.
not alone, Mario. Not alone. Same here.
Yeah, so what would your advice be to contractors, and homeowners as well, but about using equipment like the Equipter on their job sites in terms of like quality of the roof installation and just kind of overall effectiveness of the job?
So I mean, to be fair, and the roof installation, right, can go on without the use of an equipter, right? The impact of the use of an equipter on your jobs is indirect, meaning that it takes away the worry about the cleanup. You look good, looks efficient, uh, but it allows you to focus on the installation. So my advice for the contractor is that don't forget what it matters, which is quality. Installation. Don't forget to treat your labor force respectfully. It is a hard job putting those roofs on. Yeah, not too many people want to join the teams. That's for sure. So um, just treat them respectfully, because that's what you have to do with everybody. Now the next thing is give the benefit of the doubt to different things in the day by day process. You always got to try at least once. So that's a part of the roofing process. So um, yeah, that's my advice. You take away the worry about the cleanup, protecting things, and then you can focus on the installation.
Yep. Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
one thing I might chime into that too is like proper communication and education. Like also like to your everyone involved in the roofing process goes a long way, and don't just assume, that, oh, hey, we got this piece of equipment and I'm just going to assume everyone knows the features or how it works or like it's like, no, like actually walking through, putting the right attention to like, okay, how are we going to use this the right way? And what's our implementation plan? for this piece of equipment, because equipment's only as good as it's used. From like the business, like I use a lot of software,
Yeah.
in my organization, but it's only as good as I implement it. If I don't implement it the right way, it's literally useless. Like it might as well be a paperweight. And so I think the implementation of it is also huge.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point you make too, the communication with the homeowner too, because you could roll up with this piece of equipment like, what is this? What does this
What is
do?
this?
Yeah. So explaining the features of it and the benefits of, this helps us do XYZ for your property.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
any last
don't for,
words for homeowners? Oh, go ahead, Mario.
no, don't forget, Lauren. Like it literally takes, I would say, less than 30 minutes to get to know the basics of operating an equipter. So I think that's a huge success for your company, Sam. Is that it is simple to use. Obviously, once again, I don't want to repeat it, but common sense. But to get the basics and how to use it,
Mhm.
it takes less than 30 minutes to get familiarized. And then obviously you got to try, you got to make your runs, and until you feel comfortable. Uh, but anybody can run those, to be honest.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, that's important. So yeah, any final thoughts for homeowners about how using the right tools makes all the difference?
Well, I mean, I would like to just finish, with in a statement, that roofing is important. Roofing, your roof protects the most valuable items, including your family. So, let's respect what we do, and keep the care for your properties. We are Limus Construction is going big on retail right now. For many years we try to stay away from the residential, retail. That's okay to label it like that. So we're huge in multifamily homeowner associations, but one of the reasons, and if not the main reason, that why we're going back to retail is because the need of attention, the need of care. We want to set ourselves away from the pack and just sell good roofs with good warranties and give a good experience to those homeowners. An equipter is going to be part of that. And as far as I'm concerned, it will be until we'll retire. So
There you go. There you go.
Amazing. Sam, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I think it like a lot of it comes down to, um, can you get a gauge of the culture, of the roofing contractor? If you're a homeowner, looking to hire a roofing contractor, if you're a business owner of a roofing company and like trying to educate yourself on like, okay, what can I do, more for my company? Um, Really focusing on the culture of your organization. Mario, that's one thing I see like you've done amazing at Lemus Construction. And it ties everything together. It makes the tools that you invest in, you get more ROI out of it. You get more use out of it. Every job, that you're on, you're putting a positive impact, into your area of the world. And I think focusing or not forgetting, like coming back on like company culture and really focusing on that, choosing a contractor that you see, really focuses on that. And then as, roofing companies ourselves, like putting initiative into that and just showing up in that way goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Well, gentlemen, thank you for all of your time and your insights. This has been wonderful. I hope all you homeowners out there are looking forward to an equipter being on your property for your next re-roof. And you can find information about Equipter and Lemus Construction on AskARoofer.com, as well as other podcast episodes and articles and more. And we will catch you next time. Thank you, Mario and Sam.
thank you, Larry. Always good to see you,
Lauren,
Sam.
thanks for having us.
If your roof needs answers, subscribe now to the Ask a Roofer podcast. We've got your questions covered, one episode at a time. Go to AskARoofer.com to submit your questions and learn more. Stay tuned and keep those questions coming.